I've got to be me. And at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day, at any other time of the day, you've got to be you. You can't really question that. And sometimes in being ourselves, we face these limitations. We may see another person, another individual, and go, I wish I had that in my life. I wish I could be like that. But at the end of the day, you can definitely try because maybe that's an aspect of yourself that you haven't yet released. But at the end of the day, you can only ever truly be yourself at any given moment in time and in every single moment of time. And that's one of the things that Pushya deals with. Pushya translates as the nourisher or also the one that yields. Now you might kind of go, what do those two things have in common? Well, here's really interesting things to think about. Pusha is symbolized by, amongst many other things, a circle with a dot in the middle of it. Now, interestingly enough, in astrology, that's the symbol of the sun or the soul or of the individualized self. But it's also a symbol for the individualized person pushing up against the boundaries, because it's in coming up against those boundaries that we recognize how expandable those boundaries are, equally how much they contract. And in short, we never know until we test those boundaries, but sometimes those boundaries push back and we immediately assume this is a direction I shouldn't be going in. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the case. And one part of our mind knows that. So we keep pushing again and we keep pushing again until probably somewhere along the lines we recognize certain things are not meant for us and other things are. I have a very special offer available on my 6 consultation packages, 6 consultations for a total of $333. Plus, you get 1 year of my courses community where you can learn more about the Nakshatras and Vedic astrology in general. If you're interested in this 6 consultation package, you can find information on that at the link that you'll see above. So, at the stage of the evolutionary journey that started with Ashwini, and we were talking most recently about Punarvasu and the nourishing or pulling together of energy for the onward journey, but equally what must happen at some point, which is getting picked from the nest, right? And so, when one flies the nest and one begins to interact with the world, and one begins to test one's will and one's strength against the powers that be, and equally the powers that think they are but aren't really, then we begin to understand some of the boundaries that we're here to function within. I mentioned this in association with another nakshatra, but it fits here too. Like if you have a certain type of seed, it's going to grow a certain type of flower or plant or fruit or vegetable or whatever the case may be, right? It has to accept that this is what I am, right? And again, we can be no one other than who we are. And it's the acceptance of this seemingly limited destiny that becomes nourishing to us because we're being nourished along the correct path that we're individually meant to grow along. But there's that whole process that happens that takes place where we begin to seemingly sense resistance, but we can't really be sure. When that little light goes on in our mind and recognizes, hey, you know what? I've been kind of pushing against this for a while, and A, it's either not the right time, or B, it's never going to be that way, then we have to accept that that's the way that things are in the moment. And that guides us along our specific individualized path. Thanks a lot for watching this video on Usha Nakshatra. I'll see you the next time around for Ashlesha. Take care. Bye now.